Okay, we've reached the last tricky stitch from the Weekender for July 2019 at Yarniverse in Memphis, Tennessee. And this is the picking up of the stitches in the armhole. The first thing that I did, I find it easier to pick up the stitches on the knit side, and that's the wrong side. So we have to do something a little odd for this. First, I put markers because my count was 60 stitches for an armhole, so I quartered that, so I need 15. I put a marker at the top and the bottom, and I use these little light bulb clips. You could use those plastic locking stitch markers, anything that you can open and take off. That way you can just have an easy marker for where you need to put your stitches. And then I also split it in half the other way, so now I have 4 quarters. And I know that between each quarter I need to pick up 15, and that means I will get an even stitch distribution. So I've already picked up 2 of the quarters so that you can see the end of this. And I like to use a crochet hook to pick up, one that is thin and tapered on the tail end. For this one I ended up using a G or 4.0. And the size, the smallest, the 7 for picking up the stitches. I will switch over, I will knit onto the 9s, but this just gives it a little bit of ease as I'm trying to pick up these stitches. So I have turned the piece inside out, and when I'm going to pick up a stitch, what I want to show you is that you want the ridge to be on the wrong side. So you always want to pick up the stitches to where any extra rolls in. So for us, the purl side is the wrong side, or is the right side. So we want to make sure we're always rolling our stitches towards the wrong side. So how I pick up with my crochet hook is I go in, and you'll see the V, the very first V, you pick up through that V. So here is the easiest place to see it. There's the V here, so I'm going to hook the loop underneath, and I just twist a little bit and pull through and make sure that I am pulling the hook all the way through. And then I have 15 stitches here, and I'm going to just move them onto the needle. And then I'll show you how I pick up the last 15. This takes a little practice, so don't feel bad if you end up a little wonky and want to take them out and start again, or if you end up short. And the bonus of doing it on the crochet hook to the needle is you can see if you've missed anything and can maybe pick it up on the way around. So now I've got 3 quarters on my sleeve, and now I'm going to go ahead and pick up the next set. So when I look at this, I want 15 stitches between this marker and this marker. So the last stitch, and the bonus of doing it on the needle like that is I can fold these in and get a nice rounded edge and see exactly where that last stitch was. And it is right here, so I know I want to go into the next loop. So move those guys out of the way. It gets a little difficult to see on the purl side, so I'm trying to look for approximately where I need to be, and then I'm going to roll it over, and you can see this V stitch right here. So I want to go in behind that V stitch, and this bar is what I'm picking up. So let's see here. I want to make sure I'm only picking up 1 bar. So I rolled it, and then I rolled it over. So again, where the hook is very handy. So there, I've moved it to where there's only one stitch on there, and then I have it on the hook. So now I can go over to the next space and the next V up, and I want to make sure that there's something in between the last stitch I picked up and the next one. So there's that. I'm going to look at it again. This side was a little difficult. That's why I ended up starting in a different section completely, because I want to make sure that I'm closing up all underarm holes. So there's my V, and I'm going to go ahead and try one more time to pick up just one loop. Let's see if I can focus this again. Okay, so I put it under the V right here, and there's this bar right here. I'm going to roll it over, and I see that it's only picking up that one bar, so that's where I want to be. Okay, now I'm going to go to the next V, which is right here. So V, there's 2 legs to that V, and I'm going to take this bar right here, checking it on this side. And again, I'm rolling this ridge towards the wrong side fabric. Okay, let's go up and find the next V, and it's right here. And there's the bar, and then I'm just pulling it through. These are a little, I'm double checking to see how spaced out they are, and that looks about the same, because I need to try and hit 15 on picking up, and this section was giving me a lot of trouble, and I was only managing to get 11, so I'm probably going to have to go back through and try and pick some others up. Let's see here. So this is under this V, so I need to go under this one here, and I'm checking my hole. So right there, and I just need one of those legs. Again, extra bonus of the hook on a crochet hook. I usually go with one that's smaller than this. Is just the one that I found, so it has a very long hook at the top. So I have 4 stitches now, and the next V, there's leg, so 2 legs here, and then I'm going to turn the hook so it grabs this leg here and pull it out. So now I've got 5. Okay, under. I want this leg here. 6. So leg, this is the V here. Push it through and grab that. And pull it out. So 2, 4, 6, 7. And what I'm checking here, I don't want to go under this V because there's not enough separating this. I need to go over this bar here. So the V has to be this next one here. Eight. One leg, 2 legs. Oh, it's catching too much. There we go. 9. This can get a bit tedious and you need some concentration, so that is the biggest thing to realize. Okay, here's 10. So I waited for a quiet night. 10. I need to get all the way to 15. Okay. Leg, 11. Double check that count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Okay, so I'm going over this bar here. be here, and 12. Need to go over that bar, so I need to be here, and turn and hook. 13. Only 2 more. Okay. It looks like I've only got space for 1 more, because you see how there's a bar here and a bar here, so I need to go in the middle. Then I'm gonna have to figure out where I'm missing one. So I can go right here for sure. So that's 14. And then the next one there is on the next set. So I'm probably going to have to look down here at the bottom and see if there's one more that I can grab. And since there's usually trouble with gaping down in this, in the very base of the sweater arm, I think I'm going to try and see if I can pull one up through here, maybe back across this way, so that I've got 2 coming up. Okay, let's see. Because if I can pull this closed, then I'll have my 60 total. So that's how I generally pick up the stitches. So I've got one right there. I think I can pull this one up right here, and that should close everything up. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that stitch, and that'll make 15. And then how I pass the stitches along again is just pass them off the back end of the hook straight onto the circular needle. And I should be able to see it just like that. Let's see here. And so you can see that the extra here is all rolling to the back. And I've got a nice closed up underarm right there. That looks really nice. If you ever feel like you need to pick up extra stitches around a shoulder piece like this, what you can do on your next knit round, especially if you need to pick up some extras down at the very bottom seam, here under the underarm to close up any holes, you can knit 2 together. So you pick up the extra. So if you say you picked up 64 and you ended up picking up extra down here where there was 2 on this side and 2 on this side, you would just do knit 1, knit 2 together, knit 2, knit 2 together, and then knit around. And then when you were like 5 before, do knit 2 together, knit 1, knit 2, knit 2 together, knit 1, and so you've then gotten to the 60. So you just close it up a little bit, and nobody will be any the wiser, and you'll be happy because you don't have a lot of extra gapping at the sleeves. So that's going to give a really nice effect. And all of these, while it may look a little spaced out, it really isn't. Once you start knitting these together, it's just going to pull in very nicely. And that's it for the tricky stitches. After this, you just knit the full length of the arm. I do suggest trying it on, if at all possible. I have woven in all of my ends. Don't forget to flip it back right side out when you start to knit the sleeves. If you do, try and do this inside out so that you're not knitting it backwards in the end. And what it says here is you knit even for 1 inch. And so you'll have that knit around the top of the armhole. And then you do your knit 1, knit 2 together, knit to the last 3 stitches, slip, slip, knit, knit 1. On a decrease round, do your decrease rounds. You may want to write out another little chart like this for these decrease rounds so you can just have an easy check off. And then you work even for the sleeve measurement, and then you have 2 inches for the cuff. This is supposed to be a very loose piece, so I recommend trying it on to make sure that it's going to hit you where you would like it to. And personally for me, I'm going to have the length hit here and then have the extra 2 inches of cuff be longer so that when I reach out, it's not too short. But that is completely up to you, and I hope you have happy knitting, and I can't wait to see everybody's progress.